Peace, what's going on? It's your man Striker with War. We're all recovering. Yo, check it out. This Max B and Jim Jones shit is type funny, right? But, I hope everybody stays safe, man. Nothing happen to nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because shit is toxic, to say the least. Everybody laughing about the AI skips with them right now, But behind those jokes, man, it's a real story about brotherhood, feel me? Brotherhood, betrayal, pride, and that pain that never got healed, This was never about, rap drama. This was the war inside. Max B grew up in the P's, Lincoln, Harlem, His mother battled addiction, his family was fractured, and he learned survival young, like majority of us did, He did 8 years inside the P, inside the pen, before he ever touched the studio. Then he linked with Jim, became part of Bird Gang and helped build, Bird Gang that changed New York. You feel me? Bird Gang was that wave, was that shit back then. But money, credit, contracts, and ego turned brothers into enemies, not a good look. Not gangs, not blocks, just wounded men who never had a safe place to say that they were hurt, Damn shame. Jim came up in East Harlem, fighting to survive. You know that story. Mano spent 10 years in the cage. Chrissy was she was raised learning to defend herself from the world. Everybody in the story was shaped by trauma, way before fame. So when that bond snapped, it wasn't music business, It was unhealed pain, talking louder than loyalty, And that's the real war, fam. Not the war outside, the war inside. I know a lot of y'all feel me on that. The war between love and pride, the war between who we were and who we trying to become. The war between holding on and letting go. Sometimes you gotta let go, fam. Most of us know that fight. Maybe not the platinum plaques and all that, but with family, friends, old brothers, people we once trusted, we feel that. So while the world celebrates Max B coming home, and laughs at edited clips for entertainment, ask yourself this. When in your life are you still fighting a battle that ended years ago? But your pride refuses to let it rest, Because sometimes the hardest war to win is peace. Until next time, I know what to do. Stay sturdy, and each one reach one. Please, we all recovering. Peace.
Since the war began, 3,192 U.S. troops have been killed, more than 24,000 wounded. At least 50,000 Iraqi civilians have died.
It's war.